Got this blasts every time. Okay, hello, hello. Should be working. Let's see. Oh, that's Sin's voice. That's pretty cool. I guess it's not a reset yet, so this is awkward. I guess chapter 21 first. Still stuck there though. May I have some more raw damage now? Could always try with instead of you taking you. She does give a small attack buff and can grant some emergency healing if needed. Do feel Horan is gonna. I mean, Moderna technically is better in here, but. We already made a mistake. Yeah, I already made a mistake. Hello, hello. How are you, Namida? Does my voice still sound weird? I think it does. How's your day so far? Oh, I made a mistake again. God dang it. Oh, you finally got some rest. I mean, it is the weekend, right? Do you like work full-time on something? I should close this though. Oh, if I got rest. Yeah, I got some rest. I mean, today I did have to work because I am a little bit late on some work. So I did have to spend some time reading some financial reports and everything. But much better though, so there's that. I mean, I did spend the full week basically resting up, so I'm much better in that regard. Oh, god dang it. But yeah, I'm much better. Now it's just my throat that is still a little bit with leftover, and I will have to blow my nose from time to time. Like now, whoops. But yeah, like, how's your week though? Like so far? Need to get rid of the small raptors as quickly as possible. Can I probably cannot out DPS this thing. And I don't think I can actually deal the damage in time. Playing some tanky. Okay. Yeah, this is not gonna cut it. What is a game I think I've heard of a while back, but... Tanky Online, right? Haven't heard of that game in a long time. I mean, I assume it's Tanky Online, like the little tank game thingy. Maybe it's a different game and I'm just completely misunderstanding. I should control Dorothy instead of Snow White for this part. It would also really help if I had something like Scarlet for this part. Okay, that's one Rapture down. Guilty got sniped again. Yeah, maybe this comp is not gonna cut it. It's a game where you can choose between a tank, and on occasions a tank. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm surprised you're playing tanky and not something like World of Tanks, which seemed like a more popular option. Although I know of both, right? I have no real idea of the sizes of the community though. Just that I've seen more advertisement, let's say, for World of Tanks. This is annoying. Maybe, I mean, maybe I just go harder on buffing and just pray for the best. As crazy as it sounds, maybe I just go all in on buffing. Could also go Modernia instead of Haran. Because now I have way less AoE. I still have Haran, but... I'm gonna have to deal with all these little shits. Oh, maybe this was the play. Can I? No, guilty, why? God dang it. I must say because it's nostalgic, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That game is that old already, jeez. It's already been 10 years, huh? And that makes me feel old. Ooh. Can I? Ah, goddammit. Got it! So maybe that was the play, actually. I mean, Maxwell is really good. Sorry for raising my voice, but maybe that was the actual play. So now we get a new cutscene. We actually get a new cutscene. Going in on the buffing power was actually a good choice, I guess. Mm-hmm. Cecil wants a private conversation with us, huh? I mean, fair point, but at the same time, I don't think Johan would actually do that for real, though. You know, her voice really reminds me of... really reminds me of that one of those new characters from Ark Knights, Pozemka. I don't know why her voice kind of reminds me of that. Only 2 bullets. Wait. Oh, hey, Jeffrey. What up? Oh, no problem. I mean, I'm happy that my posts for relics actually help a little bit. I was questioning whether or not it even helped people, but then sometimes I get messages like yours that just encourage me to continue doing it. Because, let's face it, my community is super tiny, so I don't even know how many people actually get to see those relic locations. So it does make me very happy that it helps you out. I really appreciate it. Two more Vepos bullets, huh? So every 2 months he gets 2 bullets. I mean, it is a good deal to keep Eden on our side. Hello, hello, Eric. How have you been? It is a good timing for the algorithm. Although it sounds weird, like a lot of the content that I post is not very algorithm friendly because either it's way too short or sometimes just doesn't attract as many people as it would if I did different content. But yeah, Dorothy is very good timing in the sense that it's a character that I really love, so I really enjoy making videos about her. And basically a lot of people are also hyped about her because of the event. Oh, you're finally able to get Dorothy. Congrats. Congrats on that. Did you get her from the daily single pools or did you do a multi? I mean, that's true. It's... Oh yeah, shorts. Shorts are a weird one because YouTube actually doesn't value shorts as much as people believe. Like they will push them a lot, but for example, just to give you an idea, because this is, if I wanted to say how much YouTube actually values shorts, I can go on my YouTube studio right now and just give you the actual numbers. Because from my perspective, right, as a content creator, I can sort of see that they push them a lot, but at the same time, they don't value the views on shorts nearly as much as they value other stuff. So, for example, if I wanted to be monetized, ignoring the fact that I would need 1,000, what's it called, 1,000 subscribers, which is whatever. We might get there, we might not get there. It's not exactly a problem. The shorts requirement for being monetized is 10 million public short views versus 4,000 public watch hours on regular videos. So imagine, like, sure, you get a lot of views on shorts, but getting 10 million views is like not a joke, if I had to put it. It depends on the type of content, but yeah, like from my perspective, they value shorts, sure, because they want to add more value to the YouTube brand and everything. But I don't feel they value shorts for monetization as much as they value, you know, regular old content. Because I feel I can more easily get 4,000 public watch hours than 10 million short views. As an example, for example, I'm personally already halfway through the public watch hours, whereas on the shorts I'm not even I'm not even 1/10 of a I'm barely even a tenth on the way. So yeah, that's kind of like the different scale they put on it. Problem is that on your squad is 3 out of 5 Nikkes are being synchronized. Rappy is fine. Isabel, you need a second copy. Yeah, in endgame all the Nikkes are synced, but I think he's talking about his issues of the 160 wall. And to be honest, as bad as it sounds, depending on the luck that you get, you might have to do stuff like what I did to get past the 160 wall. Because I got past the 160 wall when I was still free to play. I actually started paying in the game for stuff at around Modernia, roughly, when Modernia came out, but I had already come pretty close or was already broken past the 160 wall by then. Is that if you get multiple copies of a Nikke through random rolls, like for example when you're rolling on Dorothy and whatnot, change your wish list. As much as it was painful for me to put Crow on my wish list to get additional copies for limit breaking past the 160 wall, that's what I ended up doing, and that's how I broke faster. The Nikkes that allowed me to break past the 160 wall were Crow, Haran, because for whatever freaking reason she's the only pilgrim I was getting for the longest time in my rolls, and she was also the one that I got on my account on my first reroll session. And other Nikkes that are considered like not meta or even unplayable by some. Although I don't think there's anything like an unplayable Nikke. That's just a personal opinion though. Just depends on how much effort you're willing to put into the game. But yeah, if you want to break the 160 wall, you gotta kind of utilize that wish list in ways that sometimes will pain your soul a little bit. Isabel, a second copy of Isabel. I mean, that's pretty unlikely, but I mean, it could happen. Isabel's not bad either. She's just a little bit harder to use in general content for sure. Nymph is dangerous according to Cecil. Ah, we might get some more Nymph. You had to throw some cash at the wall because of the the Modernist Splurge, yeah, definitely probably helped you. For me, I kind of started planning against the 160 wall as soon as I realized that it was kind of similar to Azure Lane. Because a lot of people seem to think that this is unique to Nikke, but Azure Lane also increases the level cap based on limit break using copies. Azure Lane does have booleans and other stuff, and their monetization system is a little bit different, but essentially it's kind of the same. So as soon as I saw that, I started making little plans about it. Yeah, Snow White might be the one you might want to give up on max limit breaking, unless you want to actually throw cash. This is actually interesting though. We might get some Nymph lore finally. And we might get to see why Nymph is so dangerous. Should I clear this one little guy that I left alone? Ah, fuck it. I probably can clear it now. Also, I kind of want to use Dorothy as much as possible, so off you go. I can probably do... I can probably get away with using Snow White, actually. Okay, this is gonna sound like a freaking crackhead of a composition, or freaking crackpot, but... YOLO, I guess. You force Modernia to be your first MLB. That's one way of putting it. I mean, it is an amazing MLB to have. I wish I had MLB Modernia. I really wish I had MLB Modernia. The reason why I broke my free-to-play status, not that I really care about free-to-play status in the first place, but is because I really wanted the Helm skin from the mission pass. If you know the one I'm talking about. Chandelier. Yeah. I really like that skin a lot. I may have made a mistake there. We'll see how this pans out. I should be fine. I mean, yeah, it is probably still one of my favorite skins, if not my favorite skin. The Helm one, for sure. Like, it is a very beautifully designed skin with lots of details. 3 more minutes to daily reset. Good to know. Thanks for the reminder, Jeffrey. We might get to see a little bit more of chapter 21, depending... Yeah, no, the next chapter portion is over there. That's not gonna... Oh, never mind. Okay. This map structure is starting to make a lot more sense now that I've pressed this button and that I know that it opens the door over there. Because when I first got here, I was questioning what this was for. Like, why are you here? Now I'm like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Weak point, Electra, what is this thing? Oh, Nikke defense reduction? No, we don't care about that much. I mean, it will allow them to one-tap me, but... You sleep at around 9 to 11 and wake up at 3. You need to be careful, because lack of sleep can really actually kill you. I used to have very heavy insomnia, so I kind of know the feeling. But it's really not good. Maybe I should have used Modernia here. I should probably still be able to time it, but... Wow, so many of those Raptors, what the hell? By Modernia. What the hell? What are all these little Raptors? What? What is this? Wait, what is this? What? 6 hours of sleep is good enough. Like, 6 hours is not good enough. You might feel it's good enough, but your body certainly might think otherwise. Because I used to think the same way, right? That 6 hours of sleep is good enough for me and everything. Because my body didn't feel all that tired, but a doctor said that it would have like a long-term impact on my health if I kept it up. Yeah, this is probably not gonna be the run either. I did manage to hit it with the snipe, but it only did half its health bar, huh? Hopefully I can get one more burst in before everybody dies. This is really annoying. All these little raptors, like what the hell? I should probably be using Dorothy though, since she has Pierce. Can I make it in time though? Yes, I did. Yeah, this stage is not even mob, it's like, what is this flash mob you mean? Like, you just freaking got flash mob by raptors all of a sudden. Like, what was this? Wow. Man, these stages are a little bit on the crazier side, I feel. Like, the previous stage had 4 healing raptors and the boss was a tank version of raptors. So very difficult to kill in the first place. And then you have this where you have a freaking flash mob of raptors. What is this? Let's see. So this one is... Oh, Sniper Rapture, great. So we're gonna be playing Sniper Wars with Snow White on this one. Oh, it is server reset now. I'll give this one attempt, and then I'll do the dailies co-op and everything. I'm on global, so if anyone wants to do a quick ×3 of the co-op, I'll be down for it. This is not the run. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have encountered the Sniper Rapture, right, Eric? The one that just laser beams you from a distance, like it's one of those little shits from Move Live Alternative. You're in NA? Oh, that sucks. Oh. Hey, what up, Roku? How's your day been? No, thank you. I know I said I'm not free to play, but that's not the point I was trying to make. To be fair, I did hit a milestone, so it only pops up during milestones. Oh, what up, Huss? You're in JP server. Okay, that's unusual. You're like a viewer from Japan, or is JP closer to you as a server in general? I did get a comment from on one of my recent videos from a guy from Japan. Your max gear does next to 0 damage. Yeah, I know, right? That's where overload gear comes in. This buy that I just did is not worth it unless you genuinely don't care about credits anymore. By the way, don't do it. Same for this one. Yeah, this is what I wanted to buy. Oh, you're close to Japan, okay. You're logging on Nikke? Okay, nice. Can get some... I'll probably only start with ×3 first. Oh, overload gear. Okay, that's an interesting question to ask. So, overload gear is... First of all, I'll show overload gear. This, for example, is overload gear, right? So overload gear is the tier 10 gear that you get in Nikke. It's the highest, and it cannot be unequipped anymore once it's equipped. So once it's tied to a character, it cannot be removed anymore. To get overload gear, you need to get a tier 9 manufacturer piece of gear and upgrade it all the way to level 5. Once you have it at... Oh, you're on NA. Oh, that's a rip. Once you have it at level 5, you can use these crystal shards, custom modules, to upgrade them to overload gear. Just remember that once you upgrade these to overload gear, they cannot be unequipped anymore. And once you have overload gear, you get random attributes that you can then reroll by spending more of those what's it called, custom modules that you can farm from special interception. You only get those custom module crystal shards if you have full cleared special interception, and it's not guaranteed. So you have to full clear special interception to have a chance of having them drop. Oddly enough, though, they are more rare. Pilgrim manufacturer gear is more rare for me than freaking those crystals, but that's just life, I guess. That's the daily roll. Do I have... I can do a couple of these. Just for the daily quest. In case the Nihilister quest requires three rolls on Nikkes. But yeah, that's how overload gear works. Now, the stats that you get from rolling those are pretty important. So, for example, I really like the fact that I got attack and hit rate on Guilty because she's a shotgun unit and she does obscene amounts of damage. But for example, Snow White would need some, like, probably only stacking attack and crit damage and stuff like that. A little bit of crit damage. So unfortunately, the elemental damage has its uses, but it's not as good as if I had gotten a pure attack roll. Still at chapter 15. I mean, you'll get there eventually. I mean, Nikke, I think I've mentioned this in previous streams, you have to view it kind of as a slow, like continuous progress. It's not... If you try to rush through Nikke, you're probably not going to have a good time. I mean, that goes, at least from my perspective, for most games, right? But Nikke in particular really makes you, like, steady steps. You steadily go through the through farming simulation room, making your units stronger, and over time progressing, you know, all the stuff. 20% damage doesn't matter. Whatever. Does charge speed affect Snow White? Charge damage does. Charge speed from certain sources does, like from the cubes. And I believe Maxwell also gives that. So it does affect, but that only, from my experience, matters if you're not using something that doesn't have a 10-second buff. So it's good to have some charge speed, for example, from the cube, if you're using a leader as your burst 1 buffer, for example, because it doesn't last 10 seconds, you don't get to full charge for it. So it does affect Snow White, but it really depends on the type of composition for it to really matter. Because you're not gonna be holding that charge button for very long either, anyways. Right? If that makes sense. Personally, I run the damage cube because that's what worked best for me on Nihilister at the time, and I haven't really wanted to change it. But I do know that the charge speed cube is a very good option for Snow White, especially if you're running something like a leader instead of, I don't know, Dorothy or Miranda. And if you're talking about overload gear, I would much rather just stack a bunch of attack and maybe even crit damage. But mostly attack, because the more attack you stack on Snow White, the bigger her burst becomes. Just does so much damage once you stack enough attack. Oh yeah. I really like Dorothy's voice. Like, Chiwa Saito really did an amazing job at voicing Dorothy here. What's really funny though is that a lot of people mention the voice actors that I'm personally not very familiar with, that apparently voiced Nahida and stuff, but I do know a bunch of other ones. From the Lilith video that I made some time ago, where I felt like the mystery girl sounded like her. Oh, you pulled Snow White today? Congrats. Congrats on that. I mean, Snow White, for general content, you don't really do a full Snow White team. Even for a lot of stuff, you don't do like a full-on Snow White team. Because for it to work, your Snow White needs to be scaled up enough for her to basically solo carry. And is the quality of my stream really bad or something? Because it's supposed to be much higher quality, Eric. You don't get Dorothy's voice whenever you trigger her, you get leaders? That's a weird bug. Is the stream quality pixelated or something? Just YouTube. Now I'm worried. Let me just open up my stream real quick. Oh no, it works fine for me. Oh, it's your Wi-Fi being high. Okay, that makes sense. You did mention that you were moving to Malta, I believe, pretty soon. So that will fix itself once you come to EU. Or was... Yeah, it was Malta, right? Or Cyprus. I could be high. But yeah. Okay, you had me worried there for a second. For Snow White, personally, I tend to use her, for example, in general content, right? I tend to use her for priority target sniping. So big scary rapture, I'll put it on auto so that I can talk peacefully at the same time. So Malta, I did remember. So big scary rapture, like an elite rapture boss or whatever, I snipe that. Everything else, I need to somewhat compensate her lack of AoE or lack of very consistent single DPS. So sometimes I'll run something like Modernia for very consistent DPS when I was on Nihilister. Or for example, I run very often Haran with... yeah, my throat is still a little bit sore, but it is better now. I mean, imagine catching COVID in 2023, right? Like, really goes to show how behind the trends I am. But you can compensate some aspects and still get the best out of Snow White. So you don't have to laser focus on the Snow White team, because the Snow White team ideal would be something like Miranda, Polly, Snow White, Maxwell, and another buffer. Right? But if you do that in general stages, and in many stages in general, you might actually get clapped if your Snow White doesn't do already obscene amounts of damage. Or you can survive long enough for your Snow White to deal obscene amounts of damage. So what I personally end up doing is compensating these portions, right? So for example, like I said, I pair Haran a lot with Snow White, or some very heavy AoE attacker, just to do those screen wipes. That's why I also really like Dorothy here, because her brand gets charged really quickly and turns Snow White's snipe into an AoE. But that's like the rough idea that I have when I'm playing Snow White. When it comes to team building is, can I get away with going more Snow White oriented team? Or do I need to compensate a little bit to rebalance some of the aspects of the stage to deal with it? If that makes sense. I hope that helps though, because I would love to see more Snow White enthusiasts in the wild, for sure. Snow White is so much fun. Do I really want to... I mean, I can attempt the missiles, at least one. And yes, I call it missiles because it's funny. Okay, let's try this. Maybe I should drink a little bit of water. Hopefully you won't get to listen to this. Okay. Maybe I should get a hydrate bot. Like some of the streamers have. I don't stream nearly as often and as much to guarantee that, but... Maxwell is also really good, and for example, charge speed can also help a little bit here. I'm not into bondage, stop it. Yeah, no, Maxwell is that. I'll need to retry this one. YouTube was... it's set up at 144. That is internet providers in a nutshell. I'll be honest with you. Okay. I just love how getting clipped by a single raptor shot when you have such combat gap like by leader just instantly annihilates you. Yeah, I mean, don't underestimate Noise though. I do use her pretty frequently because of her taunt, for example. I mean, Burst Ray would have been nice for tower, I assume. Oh wow, by guilty. Well, that is unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. Maybe I'll have to come back to the tower later. Maybe if I do this instead. Nope, I'm by guilty again. Okay, I'll come back to the tower later. I'll do other dailies first. Because I could... Considering how much of a dumbass I can be at the times, I could actually be stuck here for a while. It does feel like that, doesn't it, Eric? It just sometimes feels that you're just like you're playing with Nerf guns and the enemies are basically using freaking Terminator's minigun or something. It's kind of like also those fantasy games, you know, which is why I really appreciated what they did with Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, is that when you're attacking with swords, right? In many games, it just feels like you're attacking with a blunt stick. like you replace the sword with like a broom, and you're basically getting the same effect. Tactical Nikke incoming. Ooh. Biggest skill priority for Snow White is definitely her burst skill. After that, I'd have to read the skills because I don't remember which one was 1 and which one was 2 off the top of my head. But I do remember that one of the two was much lower priority. I do have Snow White at 10-10-10 though, so don't copy me because that's kind of a, according to min-maxers, a waste of resources. I just enjoy Snow White that much. Maybe I'll win here. Oh yeah, Neon is a very funny Snow White support, by the way. Oh, the Gustav gun that they used Termite to... yeah. Okay, now I see which one you mean. It's the biggest cannon. Funnily enough, I heard about it from my history classes, and then I heard about it again in Breaking Bad. But yeah. And now I see what you mean. That thing was... Yeah, of course, 10-10-10 waifus, right? Yeah, I think that's the one he's talking about. I believe that's the big fuck-off gun that the Germans built that he's talking about. I mean, cannon, basically. So Germans were a little bit ahead of their time. They had already invented Thomas the Doom engine on cannon on rails before Nikke. Who should I go for? Because I know I will lose on all 3 of them, so just pick 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, it was something crazy like that. I mean, Nazi Germans had something for big, crazy stuff that was very impractical. Like the Bismarck and the Tirpitz are also very good examples of that. Let's just go with Cypher, I guess. I know I'm gonna lose anyways. Like, if you remember, like the freaking... They decided to build the largest warships, some of the largest warships ever, in the time where aerial warfare was becoming more and more dominant. Right. Are you talking about the tank? Version of their need to overcompensate with what they create type of stuff? Because I think the Sturm Tiger was that big ugly tank thingy. I mean, it's more like big guns means just a bigger target to hit, right? Battleships are awesome, but the problem is that when they decided to create the Bismarck and the Tirpitz, aircraft carriers were already a thing. And unfortunate as it may be, aircraft carriers could strike at the time battleships completely outside of their strike range, so you know how that goes. What the fuck? 120 kilos of TNT? Who designed that? Wow. I did not know that. We have 4 relics to do today, okay. I mean, once I'm outside of this loop, I guess. Be prepared, we're in for a long one, boys. Can somebody frame me from this? Like, just kill my units or something, I don't know. I don't want to be stuck here for 3.5 minutes. You try to love building in games. You try to play them because it's laggy. I mean, yeah. I cannot even imagine how many parts there are. Oh, finally someone died. So maybe it'll finally be over. The mouse tank. I do love a little bit of naval history and stuff, because some ships are pretty awesome to look at. You stop doing this, you character collecting. I mean, lesson learned. I hadn't had this stupid loop in a long time. Tier 7 Pilgrim Attacker boots crats? That is pretty good to get. Just keep in mind, I don't think I have put almost any skill points on my Emma at all. Just let that sink in. Like, my Emma has barely any investment whatsoever, because I don't care about PvP all that much. This is so stupid. And my opponent is running the freaking Falkwang Poly thing, so he's also basically immortal. What's brilliant is that the main reason why my Emma is surviving so much is because this guy's running Modernia here and Emma here. On top of the fact that Falkwang, I think, is a assault rifle. So what's happening here is that they're pew-pewing my Emma so much that her skill is triggering so much that she just doesn't die. And just gets healed back up instead. Is Dorothy, Guilty, Private, Novel, and Maxwell, is it a good team? You don't need to put Guilty and Novel in the same team necessarily, but you do have some very good units. So Novel is nice for some stuff where you can, for example, do more parts damage, or you can use her defense down. And Guilty is very good for bosses where you just want to push damage. because Guilty's shotgun, she does have a kind of limited range of execution compared to Novel. Private and Maxwell together is very good as well, because Private will buff Maxwell's laser. And Dorothy is pretty decent all around, to be honest, so yeah. It is a good team, I wouldn't put Guilty and Novel within the same team. At least personally, right? Because you don't need two 20-second burst 2s. So you're better off either putting a healer for some more general content, or you're better off... unless you're talking... Team Junior, are you talking about PvE or PvP? Actually, before I continue. Because that is a very big difference. If you're talking PvP, then that changes things entirely. But if you're just talking PvE, like versus PvE, okay, there we go. So yeah, I would okay, let me just go quickly over the two, right? Guilty is really good if you want to push like a lot of damage, but her burst is 20 seconds, right? And Novel as well is 20 seconds. Whoops, not Breed. Novel. I think she's a little bit lower because I haven't built her all that much. Because she came to my collection very late, so I didn't really invest much in her. She's also 20 seconds. So the thing that can be a little bit annoying about Novel is that her defense, shred, and whatnot requires you to stack up charges by doing attacks. But she is very, very good. A lot of people use her on Nihilister, for example. I used Guilty because I wanted to push more damage, but she's really good. And combined with Maxwell, it works quite well because defense, shred, and then the buff from Private, and then you just pew with Maxwell's laser over here. So it is a good team. Now, depending on what you want to do in terms of content, you might want to slot in a healer like Pepper, like Noise, or you might just want to slot in an additional buff or an additional damage source. So you could very easily slot Laplace for additional damage if you have her, or any other burst tree, right? Or you could even slot in a Polly instead, because Polly is 40-second burst, so she won't burst every cycle, but she does give a attack buff, right? So there's that. That Polly being your burst 2 would be one of the, or Noah being your burst 2 is one of the few cases where I would theoretically personally accept having multiple burst 2s, but otherwise I would try to put either buffers. Helm also works, because Helm burst grants you leech, so you can heal when you burst with Helm by attacking, and when you enter full burst you gain attack damage for 10 seconds. So this will actually buff your Maxwell laser beam. Yeah, Drake and Sugar for shotgun teams are really good for sure. I don't use it that much because I'm basically, you know, bring Snow White almost wherever you can, but that's kind of the rough idea. Does that help you, Tim? Or do you have any more questions? Feel free to ask, no problem at all. Who are you today? Modernia, okay, that should not be that big of an issue. Yeah, I can keep this team. Yeah, no problem. If you have any more questions, like, just feel free to ask, right? I don't think I've used Rapunzel on this boss yet, so this will kind of be a test run. Did I miss the core or something? No, I did hit the core. Okay, whatever. I should probably try to increase my Rapunzel a little bit, because I do feel she's a little bit slacking on healing. The main problematic with Modernia is that I could clip one of her wings instantly with my Snow White, right? If I really wanted to, I could just clip her wings like one of her wings instantly. Problem is that the trick to keep your Nikkes focused on the central part can be very inconsistent. I'll Shangri-La here. From my experience. And the problem is that if you clip her wings too early, like both of them, she enters a new phase that can be really annoying. So I actually avoid hitting the wings altogether for as much as I can. Because there is actually a Snow White angle here where you can hit... there is a Snow White angle around here where you can hit both the wing and the body. And I really, really don't want her to enter that stage. Yep, she entered that stage. Should not matter. Yeah, it should not matter. Yeah, that's the problem when your Nikkes are dumb as bricks. This is exactly what happens when your Nikkes are dumb as bricks. And decide to clip her wings early. Completely out of her control. Dorothy, never change. Guilty also doing some work here. Gotta love it. Thanks. But yeah. Like, if you clip her wings early, it's a massive issue. As you saw here. God freaking damn it. Oh well. Can't win every single, can't win them all. What am I missing from my dailies? Oh yeah, the arena. Rookie arena, just literally pick. I'm at a point where I just pick random. Yep, that is a good way of putting it, like a Raspberry Pi. I just call them bags of bricks. Actual bags of bricks. Similar IQ levels as well. It's like as well. I mentioned yesterday when I was doing Chatterbox that when you break his core, he does a massive fuck off smash on your face that does stupid amounts of damage in special interception, right? The way I learned about that is because I decided it was a good idea to use Snow White Burst to clip the core, the shoulder, and the shoulder box. You know, like a good little Pierce user is supposed to. But then my Nikkes focused the head so hard with their damage that they broke the core, and I just got smashed out of nowhere, and I had to reset. I was like, what? So ever since then, whenever there is a sensitive part on a boss that I know if it dies early it's going to be an issue, I just avoid it. I just straight up avoid it. Even with the Snow White Burst as well, because I know it's going to end poorly. From personal experience. Like, I know it's going to end poorly. Oh yeah, fun fact: this MRT guy is the rank 2 in Rookie Arena of my server cluster, but he's kind of not an issue anymore. Yeah, I don't have the Senti skin, by the way, Mystery. Sorry, didn't really mean to ignore your message, but I kind of forgot to reply to it. I don't have the Senti skin. If it came in a battle pass, I would have had it. But yeah, I'd rather use the money on the actual battle passes that give other stuff. I do like the skin a lot though, so I might end up getting it at some point. Once I'm at a more stable full-time job instead of doing Masters Plus work. Let's gather this. So this, and Tribe Tower I'll do it later, if I still have the time afterwards. You bought the skin and you don't even have Senti. Oh, that's some dedication for the waifus then. I hope she comes home soon then. Because she is pretty good. She is pretty good. Okay, roll drums. What do you guys think is going to be this time? Is it going to be abnormal again? Or is it going to be abnormal again? Or is it going to be Pilgrim but Defender? Even though Noah already has a full set. Come on, place your bets. I'm actually going to wait for the bets. Because usually someone... Elysian, abnormal supporter, goddammit. I wish not. Elysian, abnormal. Oh god. It just happened to you. I think yesterday I got Elysian attacker or a defender? And then the one before that was like abnormal. Missile supporter. Oh, that would not be that bad actually. I do have some... Well, let's just go for it. It is most likely going to be something dumb like abnormal. I agree with you, Eric. Missiles attacker. Huh. Well, that will... I know exactly who is going to wear that. Hi, Maxwell. That's actually not that bad. I'm actually not mad at all. I would have preferred Pilgrim, but... I'm actually not mad on that one. Tetra support... I think Sakurai is gonna get it then. Let's see. Who is getting upgrades? You're getting an upgrade. You're getting an upgrade. Everyone gets an upgrade. This is how I store my gear, by the way, as well. I just do both. Equip stuff and to store it, and then I trade it later to the unit that will actually use it. And that way I can just use it normally. And yes, even the... Hey, Pine, you got a new piece of gear, and at least this time it's not abnormal. Congrats on that. Maybe you won't die this time. Too soon. That was a little bit too soon. Even that hurt me a little bit. Even that actually hurt me a little bit to say. Let's go to Overzone. Yeah, I know. I actually did self-damage there as well by saying it. Oh, there's one. Okay, so we're gonna use the usual getaway that I use for my little things. So paint. How many instances of paint do I have to open this time? 4. Oh yeah, for those who are new to the stream, whenever I post the new thing, in case you're wondering how I do it, very professional streamer way of doing it. I just screenshot, go to paint, and then just crop it to make it a little bit more manageable in size. And just post it. And I just run around the... So that's 1. Oh, so we get the song today. Okay. There's one over here that I see. So again, screen capture. Crop it. Make a new one. And if you're wondering why the crops are inconsistent, is because I'm doing the crop by hand. That's how technologically challenged I am. Also why I haven't done thumbnails yet is because I haven't figured out how to work Photoshop or something similar. I think that Pine joke hurt everyone. You do the same thing? Yeah. I mean, it works, right? Let's see, where is the other one? Because there's probably one hidden in some really random shitty spot. We're missing 2. Okay, so let's start looking at the very shitty spots that you would never be able to see it physically with your eyes. So all this area. And behind this fence as well. Because if story mode is any indicator, they really love doing that in this game. So no, not here. Not here. Okay, so it's probably in a more visible area then. Are you inside of the trucks again? Maybe behind the trucks or behind the tent here? You're laughing so hard at 442 because they're sleeping. I mean, I'm happy that I'm making you laugh with my stupid... Oh, there we go. What I was saying about invisible spots. But I'm happy to make my shitty jokes make you laugh a little bit. So that's 3 out of 4. And now we're just missing 1. Oh, we get gems for this one, huh? So either it's behind the back around here. So we had 1 here, 1 here, and 1 over there, right? So could it be Could also be behind here, but could it be like around here? Music is such a banger though. I mean, I kind of guessed that you were easy to make laugh if my jokes made you laugh, but no need to dig the knife deeper. Let's see. Maybe they finally put one over here? Nope. Okay, they didn't. I don't see any here, but could they have clustered the last ones together? Because we had one at the plant, which was basically go check the plant. We had one at the bridge and one at the tent. Maybe there's one with Pine? Nope, there's not one with Pine. Maybe behind the fence over here? By challenge? You saw it near the challenge thing. Let's go and check. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh, there it is. Good catch on that one. Thanks for the help. But yeah, now you, for those who are new to the stream, they just got a behind-the-scenes peek at how my little thing is done. And now I just save them as untitled PNG number 1, untitled PNG number 2, untitled PNG number 3. This is so ghetto. I need to get a better way of doing it at some point. And untitled PNG number 4. And now I just go to YouTube and I just post it. Yeah, you guys, like, if you don't pay attention, you might not notice it, but even the crops are inconsistent because I do it by hand. So... So unless you have like OCD or pay really close attention to detail, you might not realize that the images are actually not even the same size. Which, now that you know it, is gonna bother the hell out of you, but... Yeah. Here today is relics. I need to reopen my YouTube as well because I'm going to link the stream. Copy, whoops. Copy link address. Let's just make sure that it's the correct one. Okay, yeah. I've had a bug sometimes where YouTube thinks that I'm selecting something else. I don't know if you guys have had that, but it's so weird. Nikke with double K and post. And there you go. And now you may or may not notice that the images are actually different sizes. Hope it doesn't trigger too many people. I mean... Oh yeah, that does happen to me as well pretty often, that I forget to name something, so I need to rewatch the videos that I record. Like, I record a video for the YouTube channel, right? Like, let's say the noise video of today. And I record it, I don't name it, and then I leave it there because maybe I think that a different video is better for today or something. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, what is this again? So I am forced to open my videos individually each time to remind myself what it actually was. I have gotten better at it for naming them, but it happens so frequently. It's like, yeah, What was this footage for again? I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, did you guys see oh, what's her name? There is a pretty famous Korean singer that did the cover of the Dorothy theme. Rihanna, I think was her name. I'm really terrible with names. Dude, she did a pretty sick cover in Korean of the song. And Chiwa Saito sang the Japanese version of the song. Emily is the one who sang the original version in English. I think it's Rihanna. Rihanna. Hold on, I'll find the video and I'll link it in the chat after this. It's a Korean singer. Rion maybe was the name. Chiwa Saito did the Japanese cover of the song as well, by the way. You can find that on. You can find the Japanese version in the Japanese Nikke YouTube channel. For rail cannons for main turrets. You should try to create the Admire in. You should try to recreate the Aegis of the Admire from Nikke. That would actually be pretty dope. Let's see, because I know I have it in my liked music, in my liked list. Copy link address. Whoops, mute this. This is the one that I was talking about. And then there is the Japanese version, which is this one. Right. The Aegis of the Admire, the ship that Helm commands. I think that would be pretty dope because it's a pretty dope ship. Oh, I mean, I think I have even a better option than that. Just be patient, I'll go back to the lobby for a second to show you what I mean. Because I do think my Helm is max limit break. It's the one that you see during her burst animation. Lobby, buy Modernia, go back to your Pilgrims. And where are you here? Yeah, Helm's ship. She does give that character from Arpeggio of Blue Steel, doesn't it? Okay. Moderna, you're no longer grounded, so come back from the Pilgrims. There we go. Yeah, Helm's ship is pretty cool. I really like the design of her ship. We're gonna do Memory of White. White Memory as well. First, let's do the daily story. Man, this was such a good story. And I really like the little detail of this as well, where you have each one's of their dreams inside of the stained glass. So you have Scarlet, who wants to kind of be a farmer, plant stuff, that has a little plant around her frame. You have Rapunzel with the grave and the cross for the fact that she wants to mourn for the dead and remember them. And the bullet for the fact that, what's it called? Snow White will dedicate her all to kill raptures, or basically their renewed purpose, along with the wings of Dorothy for the fact that she's back on her feet. It's a pretty cool detail. The previous stained glass showed like the missing original members of Goddess that died as holes in it. Yeah, the origins of the Aegis is unironically a very fun way of poking fun at how stupid some ideas actually happen in real life as well. Because basically they created this ship of anti-rapture ship that will demolish raptors completely. But because they lack control of the surface, they cannot bring it to the surface and actually make use of it. So it's stuck in the arc. It's just completely stuck in the arc because they wanted to make some show of force, but didn't really think it through. And because they can't really afford, for morale reasons and everything, to scrap the ship and whatever, it just sits there and basically serves as a luxury party ship to continue do propaganda for the war, which is pretty funny. Like, it might not sound realistic, but I believe it has not identical stuff, but like similar situations have happened, like in real life, where they want to make something grandiose for the war and everything. It ends up not being practical at all, so it just turns into a propaganda machine. You can almost make a case for the Yamato ship to actually be something like that. Because I believe Yamato, as a warship, didn't see all that much combat during the World War II. Yeah, Galaxy Brain indeed. Yeah, Tirpitz is also a very good example of that. Rapunzel appears before Snow White, who's on her way to explore the church. Snow White nods. Check out the buildings. Check out the house. She doesn't need it. Check out the other houses. I believe there is an ending here where you just continuously check the houses. Leave the door alone. Check out the other houses. House on the right. Or maybe I already checked everything. Leave the dry flyer on the ground. Check out the other houses. Enter the house on the left. She needs it. Check out the other houses. I'm pretty sure there must be a silly ending if I just loop this enough times. Yeah, the Bismarck died pretty easily as well. I mean, let's just check out the factory as well. I think there is an ending. Whoops. Leave after morning for a shop. Oh, okay, so I already took the book, so we leave the book alone. We can use the cookbook. Okay. So here's where the cookbook comes handy. It says that the cookbook handy she'll follow announces that she'll use this canned food and make something delicious. Snow White watches Rapunzel. An appetizing soup boils in the huge pot. Aroma fills the factory. As Snow White begins to drool, as usual, she drools. Can I have a taste? Of course. Rapunzel confidently ladles some soup into a small can and passes it to Snow White. Snow White puts a spoonful in her mouth, and she's filled with pure ecstasy. How does it taste? It tastes wonderful. Right, so we got a kind of good ending. We didn't poison Snow White. That is a good point. I mean, Emma's cooking is weaponized. Is actually weaponized. Normal ending. It is the normal ending. Okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the endings of White Memory, because there are some really big lore dumps. Oh, you want to do some turtle? Sure. Let's see. I believe I have done... Oh, gifts and advice. I can do those afterwards. If you want to do some turtle, I'm down for it. I believe you're on global, so you should be able to send me an invite since you're on my friends list. I'll just quickly put the thingy. Yeah, I can make a grip for the turtle. This is a gargantuan howitzer. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could put like... What's funny is that the Aegis is basically like a massive warship with like multiple railgun artilleries, if you see the image. Which is pretty sick, but it's also pretty funny how it's basically useless currently in Nikke's story. Even the frickin' train AZX has seen more combat action than the Aegis. 2 meters and 4 meters tall. Jeez, that is big. Oh, so planes did finish off the Bismarck, huh? I thought it was the confrontation that the Bismarck had with a couple of small ships. I don't remember their names off the top of my head at the moment. And I even watched the movie We Must Hunt for the Bismarck. Brilliant movie, by the way. A more modern P-1000 Ratte. Okay. I'm not hugely familiar with all types of weaponry, so I will actually Google this to make sure that it is what I think it is. Oh yeah, it is what I thought it is. Oh, that's pretty cool. It is the big fuck off tank of the Nazis. They really must have tried to overcompensate for something. I swear to God. Leader in case someone else wants to join. Yeah. If anyone wants to join in, we're gonna do a quick ×3. If you don't want to join, I can also. It's fine. I can also. But if you're interested, I can also explain some stuff about Land Eater in case you haven't seen the video that I posted this morning. I mean, I recorded it like at 2 in the morning. So. Does anyone want to join in? I think Namida and the others were, yeah, on NA, exactly. So, yeah. Most of my viewership is actually in NA. Probably has to do with the times I upload my stuff. Let's see if there's anyone from my union online as well. I'll just do a quick check on my union, see if there's anyone that wanted... No, okay. There is no one that wants to do at the moment. Okay, so let's just roll with it. It's so loud he almost went deaf temporarily, Jesus Christ. I mean, artillery is very, very loud. One of my best friends from all the way in childhood is in the army at the moment. I actually have 2 friends in the army. And I swear to God, he has been losing his hearing slowly ever since he joined the army. And he's supposed to be... I mean, he is technically infantry, but he's supposed to be like radar analysis as well. A tad bit spicy. That's one way of putting it. Well, they all want burst trace, so I guess... Oh, for the love of God, please don't make Noah be the only burst too. This is gonna be really bad. This is actually gonna end very poorly. Noah's burst is 40 seconds, so it's actually a terrible idea. And you don't need Noah's burst for this boss either. You can actually iframe most of it. And the boss doesn't do that much damage if you do things properly. Okay, so he won Senti. Nice. Oh, wait, no. He went Horrent. Please have brain cells. Please have brain cells. Please have brain cells. Okay, good. Whew. We dodged a bullet. We actually dodged the bullet. The amount of times I've had randoms that make you question reality is unbelievable. Yeah, gunfire can really make you go deaf. Like one of my friends is my best friend is a veterinarian for the army, and the other one is a corporal, I believe, or corporal major for the army. But oh, okay, so it is bugged again. And the one who is like corporal or corporal major is like, I swear to God, he's losing his hearing ever since he joined the army, because he did have to fire a lot of things in his time in the army. Not because he was in a war or anything, but because, you know, training and whatnot. Hmm. One meter. Ooh, that is big. 1, 3, 4. Jeez. Okay, nice. If you have any questions about this boss related or not to the video I made, like, I don't mind repeating stuff either. Just feel free to ask, because this boss is really fun if you learn it. There we go. See how quickly the Senti cleared it, right? That is part of what I mentioned with AoE is quite decent against the interruption circles. 7 meters backwards. Jeez. That is some recoil. That is some crazy recoil. Like, how big are the shells actually of that thing? That is some crazy recoil. So I'm assuming that those be like extra, like, I don't even know how to put it, like extra large shells. Like, it might not even be freaking sending shells at this point, you might be sending missiles. Oh, that was quick. $230 by 400 millimeters. Jeez, that is big. Like, how much does one of those shells weight? Must be really heavy as well. I always find it fascinating how insane some of this stuff can actually be. Because those shells be one bag of propellant for one shot. Jesus Christ. And I'll assume those are not small bags. Jesus. You don't need pH. Oh yeah, you're kind of in a conundrum, don't you? If a single hit hits you, you're dead, aren't you? Good job on that one. Good job keeping yourself alive with no healer. You were probably like at 1 HP the entire time, weren't you? Yep. I even mentioned this in my guide about Land Eater, is that if you're running Scarlet, you really need to run a healer, because otherwise even a breeze will kill the Scarlet. I'll start matching. Yeah, I actually really like Nikke's writing overall. It's a really, really solid writing. Like personally, the thing that appeals the most to me in Nikke's writing as well is that they know how to write stuff that can be deep or layered without trying to sound like it. One of the biggest pet peeves that I had with Arknights, because I do enjoy that game, don't get me wrong, is that sometimes they would write literal essays and paragraphs upon paragraphs for stuff that they could have just said in a few lines, essentially. And I read as a hobby some pretty thick books, right? So it's not that I don't enjoy reading, it's just I don't enjoy reading when it feels unnecessarily charged. Let's put it that way. Because you can explain some pretty philosophical stuff without needing to go like crazy on the word count. I'll just hit the center because all the parts are broken. It's meant to be a mobile howitzer, but it has armor. If the ammo explodes, everything is royally vaporized. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I assume there are a lot of safety measures for Bicente. Well, that's the run, guys. Yeah. I haven't played much Honkai Impact 3 personally to really comment on that, but I have seen characters like those. Okay, so we are gonna get a volley, so make sure you know what your location is when you're shoot. So for example here, volley is coming, I can iframe it because I know that I was shooting when the volley came out. Easy peasy. But yeah, I never really got into, for example, you know how there's a lot of anime lately that has, you know, the OP protagonist that is almost perfect in any way. Like Mahoka Kokuno Retosei had that, and some other animes also had it. Recently there was also like Eminence in Shadow, I think. I just can't get into those type of characters personally. It's like, I don't know. Like flawless characters, Marisu's, or OP characters just don't... Like, if they're OP in one specific area because they're over-specialized, I can get behind that, right? But, like, the character that you're describing really doesn't sound that appealing to me, right? So, for example, here I'm gonna iframe it the other way around intentionally. Oh wait, this one I cannot iframe. Whoops. I thought he was gonna shoot the missiles. Yeah. Yeah, like, I just can't get that much into power fantasy. Like, it's fun once in a while, but I prefer stuff where the character kind of builds himself up, or he's very good at something, but he has, like, very glaring weaknesses that don't make him like some overpowered god kind of thing. You know what I mean? The only one that I actually enjoy even to this day where he's an overpowered god is One Punch Man, but that one is basically meant to poke fun at the whole thing, so... Oh, Tanya the Evil was actually pretty good in the sense that she's not invincible. In Tanya the Evil, she actually fights a character that is literally called Marisu after the trope, and and her opponent is a literal Marisu. Which is kind of interesting. Like Tanya she's technically OP, but I find her very interesting because there are like a lot more layers to the whole thing than just she's OP and whatever, right? Exactly. Whereas, for example, the Irregular at a Magic High School, that's the English title of Mahoka Koku no Retose. I did not enjoy it that much because it's like, how do I put it? Like, it's not the fun type of OP. It's like, yeah, he's just perfect in every way. Deal with it, kind of thing. That's a double clip that I just did, by the way, because the body is still here, and you can clip the body part while doing it. I do not remember if I was taking cover or not, so let's just YOLO it. After this stream, you're gonna get working on the hallways there. Oh, that's gonna be pretty cool. I believe I was firing when the missiles came out. I hope. So I will take cover. No, so I was taking cover when that happened. We're gonna get another volley, so make sure you know where you were at. So I was shooting when the volley came out. I'll just iframe it this way. There we go. That's how you iframe the volleys. The poor Mary. Oh, do I have access to it? Oh yeah, I do have access to it. Nice. That's core damage. The barrier should break pretty soon. Or the snow white will pierce it anyways, so it won't matter. I recommend you shoot the left one though. Yep, nice. I'll try to cover for you a little bit. There we go. I'll cover for the Dorothy a little bit. This is what I mean as well by proximity, is that when they get close is when you actually shoot them down. Oh yeah, the Overlord ones are pretty good because they have a kind of different take on the whole OP protagonist shtick, right? Did Dorothy not use her Pierce here? What is happening here? By Dorothy. That is unfortunate. So now we're stuck dealing with the shell of the turtle. Because Dorothy could have finished off that core and we basically wouldn't have to deal with the shell. ReZero is a... I actually liked ReZero. I actually enjoyed ReZero quite a bit because he has the most OP power ever, right? Which is the ability to come back to another point in time to kind of fix the timelines. But he's so weak in every other aspect that he's forced to cooperate and work with the people around him a lot. And that's the timer bugged. I mean, it's fine if it's not well built. Like, you can just build her over time if you enjoy her. And even if you don't want to build her, like, she's fun to use from time to time. She's quite an enjoyable, I'll go burst, yeah. That's fine. The timer bugged. You mean the interruption circles bugged out? Because I'm not sure I saw the interruption circles actually. now that I think about it. You can go Snow White again, by the way, Ruku. Oh, never mind, I guess. Yeah, Season 2 was a little bit weaker, but I believe Season 3, when it comes out, will be pretty good, based on what I personally read from the novels. Season 2 was the season with the mind break of Emilia, right? Or was that season, or is that considered Season 3 and I'm talking about Season 4? Where Echidna comes as a character. You have to live up to the Snow White Enjoyer name. I mean, you could always sneakily change the name if you don't feel like doing it anymore, right? Oh yeah, you guys will get to see some stupid guilty gameplay now. She has 5 stacks now, so this should shred his armor. Yep. Now he has armor shred on him because of guilty. That shell is not gonna help you. And you're gonna get shredded again. Guilty. She does so much freaking damage. Look at those hits. Minus 60 seconds on last attempt. That's weird. I'll have to look at the VOD because I wasn't paying attention to the timer. But that is kind of funny. And get shredded again. Look at those hits. Like, Jesus Christ. Those are shotgun hits. Plop, plop. And guilty shred again. I personally call you Eric, right? Because it's the easiest to say instead of going Eric for the name or something. But I'm not always sure how the different variations of Eric is pronounced. I'm just pronouncing it like how I call my dad, because my dad is actually named Eric. So... But Eric... I mean, I'm not too sure how I would... I mean... Viper on JP. I like her voice. But yeah, she has a special voice. I agree. Burst? Okay, there we go. Does Scarlet's self-damage ability put you at 1 HP, or can it actually kill you? I've always wondered. That we always have headphones when you play Nikke. I mean, yeah, that makes sense, right? I mean, 17.9 million damage is respectable for guilty, right? I think it's respectable damage. Ruku Scarlet did a lot of damage, though. Yeah, it does make sense that you wouldn't kill yourself. I don't know if there's people here that play World of Warcraft, but I figured maybe Scarlet's self-damage ability works like Monk's Stagger from World of Warcraft. I'm gonna continue doing some more daily stuff and some other clearing stuff. Thanks for the runs, Roku. If after I'm done with clearing like the rest of the stuff I had planned on doing, still have time, we can do some more. You're gonna need some time. Yeah, I mean, take your time. Like it's not Nikke is not a game about rushing, right? Like you don't rush in Nikke. I got a friend request from Steven. Is Steven in the chat? Maybe. I do. If it's not someone from the chat, I'll just wait, I guess, until someone gets actually inactive and accepts Steven. Because I don't know. I mean, manifest yourself in the chat if you're actually from the stream. Otherwise, I'll just leave it on red for now, I guess. Something is pinging me on Overzone, which is weird. Maybe a quest or something that I fulfilled that I forgot. What did I forget in Overzone? Missions, maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, because I haven't... Yeah, I didn't claim them because I was still going to do this. Yeah, giving gifts to Nikkes. Oh, don't worry about it. Like, co-op, for example, in cooperation, you don't need to worry too much about feeling carried or everything. People genuinely don't care that much about that. Since you started a month ago, yeah, it does take a while to build up power, right? That is a way of looking at Haran and Ludmilla for sure. I mean, most of the Nikkes do seek some form of validation through their work, through what they do, or in the form of how they manifest their personalities for sure. She's going after me for spoiling Laplace. Oops. You need one more copy of Dorothy for MLB, but you're waiting for the last day. Yeah, that's wise to do. Like, just do the free rolls daily, and wait for the last day before actually spending your saved up stash is usually the best way of doing it. Personally, it's a character that I liked so much that I just went for it, and any additional copy of Dorothy that I get is just a bonus in my eyes. If I somehow manage to max core her, like, that's gravy. If I don't, that's fine. I max limit broke her at the very least, right? But she's one of the few units in games that I really, really like. So even before Overzone, I really liked Dorothy, because characters that aren't, let's say, as pure as innocent are kind of characters that I kind of enjoy to some extent. Like, I do like my characters with a little bit of scheming bone in them. You got Dorothy from free pulls. Yeah, that's really good that you did. All your free pulls have been ours. Oh, that's a real sag. Okay, so what do you have in store today, Dorothy? Mm-hmm. Fun fact, the parcel was a gift from us. Fun fact. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, by the parasol is a gift from us, let me show you quickly before I continue doing the advice sessions. It's a funny little interaction that you have on Blah Blah Chat when you get Dorothy, where basically you gift her a a white lace parasol. The problem is that Dorothy, at this point in time, trusts humans so little that she thinks you're trying to get something out of her. So it takes a while to convince her of otherwise. Right. But yeah, that's the Dorothy thing. It does suit her. I mean, if you can imagine like a parasol with white lace, that's definitely something that would suit Dorothy a lot, for sure. But yeah. Yeah, we do get her smile. I mean, at the end of her Bond story, she kind of opens up to us quite a bit, considering it's Dorothy, right? Um, which was kind of a really nice ending to her Bond story. And in terms of her personality, the way the Bond story went really makes a lot of sense if you consider what happened in Overzone and everything. Today we're going to advise Helm. Oh yeah, her lobby. No, I don't have my own Discord server. I did consider making a Discord server, but unfortunately, I don't really have the time or resources to properly moderate one. So for now, it's kind of on the back burner, and once I feel more comfortable with that, I might actually make a Discord server for the channel. Blunders happen more often. Don't forget who you're representing. That's about it. Yes, Helma Zerlane. She is the very Azurlane-ish character. How many of you actually play Azurlane? Because I do see it mentioned frequently. I do personally play Azurlane, right? For quite some years now, but I actually wonder how many here play Azurlane. I do believe there's quite a bit of overlapping player bases between Azurlane and Nikke. So Jeffrey, Eric used to play it. I mean, makes sense. Like, I believe that there is an overlap in player bases between Azurlane and Nikke, for sure. Advice Sakura. You say used to. Do you guys get bored of Azurlane at some point? Or did you just find another game that you wanted to sink in more time? Ah, that's a bit sad. Yeah, Eric, if you forgot to link your account. Yeah, that is a big sedge. Traits there are all stars, flower shape, human faces, and all kinds of unique. Why don't we go and buy there sometime? Yeah, she was basically inviting us indirectly in a very obvious way. Sakura as a character tends to do that a lot. It's pretty funny in terms of thingies. Do I wanna? Two, three gifts, and we'll advise Miranda just in case I ever need her. You thought about it, but you never did. Yeah, I do agree with that. They should put a little bit more places where you can use skip tickets or something similar in Azure Lane. Like, the only places I don't auto in Azure Lane are basically EX stages at this point, or very, very difficult stages, like the latest chapter, and some Operation Siren stuff. It is super free-to-play friendly. Azure Lane is very, very free-to-play friendly. I believe it's because a lot of the revenue comes from selling skins rather than actual, gacha and everything. The gacha does play a role in the revenue though, but I do believe that a huge chunk of the revenue comes from skins. And I mean, they have probably some of the best skins in the market, so... Like, the Life 2D in Azure Lane is on a whole different level compared to everyone else. Yeah, the OST of Azure Lane is actually quite good. Like, they do have some pretty good music. Like, people usually always talk about, like, how good Genshin Impact's Arc Knights, Punishing Grey Raven, sometimes even Honkai Impact 3, and now Honkai Star Rail, or even Nikke music, like how good those musics are. But like Azure Lane has some good stuff too, actually. Some pretty good stuff. Oh fuck, I forgot that it was happy that I was supposed to answer on this one. Whoops. Eternal Catharsis, Dance in Neville. Yeah. Eternal Catharsis is actually pretty good. I think I found there was a version on YouTube where you have like the vocal swap of the different ships singing it. That was a really good arrangement. Right, Ray needs some gifts. I have heard sometimes that it really feels like I'm dealing with my freaking nephews and nieces. God damn. Yeah, like I don't know. I've heard some people say that Honkai Impact music was good. I've never really played that much. You don't know what's up with Ray. Once I finish getting her to max bond, I can make a video of her bond story, because it's bound to explain a lot of things to people about who she is. But she has kind of a sad past kind of thing. The Operation Siren is a very big time sink indeed. Yeah, I mean, one way to get demonetized in Nikke volume. I mean, you can't get demonetized if you're not monetized in the first place, right? Although it's kind of painful to say that because it means that I haven't even reached the requirements yet, but I digress. But yeah, like volume. Oddly enough, I've heard from other Nikke content creators that have never gotten demonetized. So YouTube is oddly okay with it. Yep. Big noise enjoyer here. And she's also really good as a unit. Let's do a volume one, actually. Fuck it. Why not? Technically water would be better for a show, but she says she's famished. Some water. Okay, so I was right in thinking that it was water, but I didn't press it because I was being stupid. Voice lines of thing. This one. Oh no, I know which voice line you're talking about. Hold on, let me. You mean this one? Do you want to get into a scandal with me? It's even more sus in English. I believe you on that one. I completely believe you that she can be way more sus in English. Like, some lines in English are super sus. Your post has 30 likes and 2 comments? What? Oh, it's the post from yesterday. Why is YouTube telling me that now? Coming in such an accent, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Wait, what? Why is this pinging me? Oh, maybe it's because I collected the relics. YouTube sometimes, I know it's a little bit off topic, but YouTube sometimes randomly, okay, I'm not gonna spoil you guys this, so I'll make a video about it once I get the max bombs. So this is what was pinging me actually. Yeah, classic YouTube moment. Like, sometimes it just pings me some stuff on my phone or on the computer or whatever. I get a notification about my channel, about stuff that happened, you know, yesterday or something. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I mean, I'm happy about it, but I kind of already knew about it. You need to get your hands on the volume. Yeah. I mean, volume is kind of fun to play with. Too bad she's not like top of the meta because shit like glitter exists. But you don't need to play top of the meta, to be honest, on Nikke. Like, for example, there is a guy that recently cleared chapter 16 or 17 fully, only using the R Nikkes. So, enhanced equipment 2 times. Did I forget to enhance equipment? Did I forget to enhance equipment? 1, 2. And then we can do the third one. Okay, I could technically overload this piece of gear, but I don't really know if I want to overload it yet. So I'll just leave it be. I think Maxwell got a piece of missiles gear. Yeah. So I'll just upgrade that a little bit. And back to Liberation. Didn't the JPVA of Volume voice one of the most cultured anime? Oh, that is possible. What was Volume's VA again? Volume Nikke VA GP. Volume was voiced by Onichichi. Yeah. Don't ask me why I know that either. To be honest, I wish I didn't. But here we are. I haven't wiped out yet. Really? Hiromi Igarashi. Huh. She does have some other roles that I actually know of. Seikatsu Shukan, the animation as well, Jesus Christ. She has some pretty cultured roles indeed. What the hell? It's not just limited to Onichichi, by the way. Okay. Wipe out, wipe out, wipe out. Yeah. It is basically that meme. For real. Oh god. I really wish I didn't know about that anime, to be honest. Oh, I got a roll ticket for reaching Commander level 200. Cool. We're gonna roll that coping for a Scarlet again. I'm not gonna get Scarlet, but We can cope for it. Can actually cope for that. Okay, so that's a little bit of progress on the Nihilister. I believe I did Special Interception and Simulation Room. Overzone is still pinging me. Oh, right, because I haven't... Yeah, because I haven't collected yet. Bless. Thank you. I believe it's because I haven't collected yet. Oh yeah, did anyone notice... Okay, call me crazy, right? But... Like, if you look at the Alice skin, right? Okay, I'm gonna go to the Alice skin on my Alice. At this point, Scarlet is the RB of this game, yeah. For those who don't know, it's a very broken character from Epic 7 that dodges a lot of people very consistently. Isabel dupe again. Well, that is surprising. I mean, it's still good. Like, Isabel is actually quite solid on stuff like Gravedigger. So I was talking about Alice, right? Okay. Doesn't her twin tails ring thingy look like the one from that white creature thing from, I think, Madoka? What was the name of that thing? Like, I'm gonna copy a link. Copy a link address. I'm gonna put it on the comments, and you guys look at that image, right? And tell me, like, her twin tails don't look like the ears of that character from Madoka. Oh, that's a big ass link. Jeez. Is there any way to make it shorter? Like Cubey Cubey from Puella Magic. Okay, let's try to find a... Okay, from Wikipedia, I'll just paste the link from the Wikipedia page. It's shorter. 1 star now. Like, look at those little halos on her twin tails, and tell me it doesn't look like freaking that little freaking piece of shit from Madoka. Like, it just fits. Like, god damn it. Like, even the color scheme and everything, it's just like, why? Why does it remind me of it so much? Does look like it, right? Like, it's it's very scary how similar it is, especially considering the context of that freaking anime. Especially considering the context of that anime. Okay, so we are gonna get another roll to cope on the recruit. So let's do a couple of those and get disappointed and then just cry to bed. I mean, maybe not bad yet, but you get what I mean. Yep, that's a blue. And it's gonna be another blue. Or maybe Anis. Okay, let's pull from the bottom this time around. Yep, blue again. God damn it. Oh yeah, by the way, all the blues I've gotten from this recruit banner were all peonies, by the way. Like, she really wants to come home. Campaign or more co-op? Oh yeah, I did want to do the missiles tower. Oh yeah, like it kind of feels like I don't know who else plays stuff like Punishing Grey Raven or Honkai Star Rail, but those devs also, like, not just the ones from Nikke, but those devs also really love their memes. You tried to drag the thing even though you were on YouTube. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Sometimes when I watch some people play stuff like Arknights or even Nikke, sometimes I press on the screen on the YouTube thinking that I'm going to skip something, like skip the animation of the boss or something. Wait, what? Oh wow, that was a one-shot. Yeah, Stell from HSR from Honkai Star Rail is a freaking walking shit post. But it's just the amount of memes that those games also put is insane. Maybe I should have killed those things a little bit faster, but because now I'm gonna get stalled. Ooh, that's leader down now. Oh, that's a reset. Need Viper to GTS banners. Eh. Not too sure what you mean by GTS. Do you mean like we need a Viper banner or something? Oh, there goes leader again. God damn, this stage is hard. Like, what did leader even die to? Did one Rapture decide to just zap her? That was... Like, sometimes I feel like just blink and one of my Nikkes disappear. Genuinely feel sometimes like that I just blink and one of my Nikkes just straight up disappears. Yeah, like, look, like Maxwell and freaking thing just lost half their HP and I don't even know where the damage comes from. What? What? Wait, what? Where did the damage come from? Not sure how true this is, but I think Honkai Star Rail killed Honkai Impact III. Most popular YouTubers stopped posting about it, and maybe I don't know if it's kill or maybe they're just jumping on the hype train, right? And then go back to their usual content. Because here's the thing that I'm wondering personally is how long will people be sticking to Star Rail once the launch hype kind of passes, right? Because that is a question for the ages, is that how long will the launch hype last for? I don't think it killed it. I just think like they just swapped to that for a bit, because the niche is not even the same, right? Honkai Impact 3 is closer to Punishing Grey Raven in terms of like niche than it is with Star Rail. At least that's how I feel it is, right? Oh, god damn it. I messed that up. Maybe I can do some changes in the squad formation for something. Don't really feel like I can do many changes though, because I do have the DP to think about, the CP to think about. Yeah, even though I fed them several millions and I can even feed them more. It just feels like it just died to a breeze at times, out of nowhere. Like, it is possible that the Honkai franchises are kind of like cannibalizing each other. That is a genuine possibility, by the way. But I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too soon to, you know, to get a feel for that just yet. I was way too slow. I don't think I'm gonna make it in time. No, no. God damn it. The smartest Nikke and most educated Nikke lore-wise depends on what type of education you're talking about, right? Because in the world of Nikke there's nobility as well, right? So Lunmila could be high up there as well as Helm. As cute and dorky as they can seem at times, they're still technically noble. But in terms of intelligence, if you're talking Nikkes, then probably Exia, yeah. Or maybe Maxwell, actually. I think Maxwell is probably smarter than Exia. Maxwell is actually very, very smart. Like, funny rape memes aside. You'll never not find the... Seeing bright beams of laser vaporizing everything. Yeah, it is pretty cool to use Laplace from time to time because of the beam. You probably would really like the... what's it called? The cinematic of Chapter 18 then. The hero cinematic where Laplace just vaporizes so many raptures after she gets her courage back. And kind of fights her own PTSD. Okay, that's that. I am being very slow though. Ah, god damn it. If you're talking like who the actual smartest character in the entirety of Nikke is, the answer is probably Cecil. Just to give you an idea of how smart Cecil actually is, there's comments about how Eden is more technologically advanced in many regards than the Ark, and that they're even 50 years in advance in some areas compared to the Ark. That's Cecil's handiwork on her own. Unironically. Yeah, I'm gonna time out on this one. That's unfortunate. Like, Cecil on her own jump-started, like, did the research and did everything and basically built many of the functionalities of Eden. So, if you exclude include humans into the equation, Cecil is by far the smartest character in Nikke. Like, not even a contest. by Laplace. God damn it. And there goes Guilty as well. It is annoying. It is frustrating. I mean, I am fighting a very big combat deficit, but it is still a little bit frustrating when you see your Nikkes randomly get sniped out of existence. Yeah. Oh, come on. Really? There goes leader. God damn it. An anti-ship rifle. I mean, technically Snow White's quote-unquote rifle is an anti-ship cannon. Like an actual anti-ship cannon, but... I could go this. Okay, did anyone see that shot coming? Because I sure as hell didn't. Maybe I was distracted by something else, but I sure as hell did not see that shot coming. Wow. Oh boy. I'm not very proficient at sniping just yet. Outside of Snow White's burst. Oh, god damn it. I even saw that they were going to shoot. Okay. I think I'm gonna take a break from this one. I'll come back when my Nikkes are a little bit stronger. Because... I seem to have a very big skill issue. Compounded by the 25,000 combat power gap. It's still a skill issue though, because I do believe I can clear this stage if I played better. A powerful ball pop. Hey, you should try to build it. That definitely sounds interesting. So Tribe Tower is on hold. I might just do a couple of story attempts or co-op attempts. Story attempts. Let's go campaign. And then go to bed. Because it is getting a little bit late and I do have some work to finish up tomorrow. I have some statements to read. Well, the gap is not as big as the other one, but it's still a gap. What are we fighting? Long range, single target long range, and suppression. Should be doable. I mean, I think it would just fracture your arm. I think it would actually blend it. I think it would actually work like a blender on your arm if you were to full auto that thing. Okay, so the idea here is to snipe one of the binders out of existence and use Dorothy's burst to... Oh, god damn it. Well, there goes Dorothy. So the idea in this type of stages, for example, where you have lots of raptors, you're using Snow White and Dorothy, is because I know that there are multiple binders, I'm going to try to delete one of the binders out of existence as quickly as possible. And leverage Dorothy's mark as an AoE. Okay, I need to take cover though. Okay, there we go. So that's the rough idea for this type of stages. That one is a little bit far away. Okay. At least Dorothy's mark did some job. Yeah, and another round of those binders. So here the idea will probably be to mark that thing at the... Oh, I did not mark that thing at the back. Yeah, because the idea is to not get completely immobilized like this. I don't know if this is recoverable. I don't think this is recoverable. The muzzle is gonna be as big as my hands. Yeah. That almost sounds like what the actual BFG should have been, right? Like the BFG from Doom. Okay, so we're gonna leverage again Snow White's burst with Dorothy's burst. And we're gonna take cover to avoid getting sniped out of nowhere. Ooh, take cover. Okay. Because the sniper in the background is very dangerous over there. I need to keep an eye on it. Okay, good. Wait, what? I'm so confused. What did I burst with? Okay, I messed that up because I was confused as to what I burst with. Wow, that was a really big brain lag. I actually brain lagged quite a bit there. Okay, so again. Kill the small raptors, get the burst charge, leverage the Snow White burst, kill some of the tiny ones if possible. Take cover. And use the mark to clear up the raptors. Okay. Moderna took quite a beating there, though. Okay, we actually hit that. Modernia is down, but it should be manageable as long as Snow White doesn't die. Was what I wanted to say, but I guess we'll have to deal with that. There we go. No more tentacle raptors. Ah, yeah. I mean, he did, but he had an exoskeleton to help him with it, right? He had an exoskeleton meant for Nikke's to help him with, because at the time he was injured. And he fired one round of Snow White's gun, and it was enough to send him flying back, like many meters back, and basically dislocate his shoulder and break his ribs. Like that type of stuff. Like, he did sustain very heavy damage, even though he was assisted by a Nikke exoskeleton, which is kind of crazy. Oh, it's those raptors. The freaking fart raptors. Okay, I'm gonna attempt this a couple of times, and after that, if I clear it or not, I will end the stream pretty soon because it's getting quite late, as I said earlier, and I do have to read some financial statements and whatnot tomorrow morning. So it's kind of gonna be a very heavy morning for me tomorrow. I mean, technically today because it's already past midnight, but you get the idea. So here we leverage Dorothy with Haran to do a double screen wipe kind of thing. Okay, good. And now that we abused Haran's screen wipe, we use Snow White's burst to deal the damage here. And there we go. Soda is a sweetheart, yeah. He did use his, what's it called, Nikke's exoskeleton as kind of a thing to hold the gun in the story. I don't know how exactly they explained it, but he basically rested the gun on top of that exoskeleton and everything and used it to try to use the Snow White weapon, because the commander is not as stupid as people think he is. Like, he knew what was going to happen if he fired that freaking gun. Yeah, Soda is a sweetheart. Let's see. We're at the second cannon. So we're going to repair it based on what Jonathan taught us. Johan is trying to teach us, basically. Yep, have a good one, Eric. Thanks a lot for joining the chat. And I appreciate the support of coming. I appreciate the support for the stream, more than you can imagine. Thanks a lot for coming. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I will try, but I will have a very busy day tomorrow. I'll try to... do you guys get notifications if I post, like, in the community, if I were to post, like, I'm streaming? Do you guys get notifications for that? Or is YouTube being YouTube again? Pochkabobo. Like, do you guys get notifications from the community posts and whatnot? Or I do know that you guys from time to time see the posts about relics and everything, but I actually wonder, like, how quickly they pop up in your feed, or how quickly or how often you actually see them. Because I could use those to try to say a little bit more in advance if I'm streaming or not. Yeah, when YouTube isn't YouTube. What up, Zephyr Phoenix? Oh, putting a waiting room. Oh, that is a function. Oh yeah, that is a function on YouTube. It sounds silly to me to put a waiting room for sure, because I never felt... But it actually does have that function, doesn't it? I always thought that waiting room was more for, like, bigger streamers, you know, to prepare their stream with all their fancy Elgatos and everything, but... Like, how far in advance could you put a waiting room? Because that could actually be an idea. And there are functions to schedule it. I could probably look into it. It sounds very silly, but I'm actually, you know, learning this whole streaming thing kind of on the fly along the way. Like a, I don't know how to do Photoshop, so that's why I don't use thumbnails just yet, or any similar software. My video editing skills are non-existent. I'm still using like little sneak peek behind, like when I actually edit videos, you know, like actually cut pieces of footage, put stuff on everything. I'm still using Movie Maker. I will try to learn DaVinci um, soon, as soon as I have the time to do it. But at the moment, I'm still using Windows Movie Maker, if you believe it or not. I mean, the modern version of Movie Maker, but it's basically Movie Maker. Depends on how long you want to. If she's in Red Hood mode, there is a very high chance that she thirsts for the commander, considering the lore drops that we've had about Red Hood recently, and how she's basically the reason behind Rapunzel's behavior. Put up Dorothy art and I'll come running. That's a good idea. I mean, there's also the issue of copyright. Luckily, nowadays there's a lot of people that generate AI art and that doesn't have any copyright whatsoever. But that's something that I've always been worried about using art for thumbnails is the copyright issues. Because that is something that I actually have a little bit of education on due to being in a kind of business-related major. Days, weeks, months, depends on how long you want in advance. Oh, that's then I'll really considering it. Yeah, Red Hood sounds like a lot of fun. Like Red Hood sounds like she has the personality of a old soul perverted uncle, kind of person that enjoys like old music, likes dirty magazines and everything. Like her personality is not something I expected out of Red Hood when I first started hearing about Red Hood. Yeah, try to imagine like Rappy but being a little bit Rappy but being mixed with the personality of Rapunzel and the laid back portions of Scarlet, and then add like a taste for old music and old stuff, and being very laid back. Theory incoming. Cigar smoking owned. Yeah, that kind of thing. Thirsty Rappy sounds like a good idea. Yeah, it does. I mean, Rappy from the April Fool's event, you kind of get a feeling that she's kind of secretly thirsty. Yeah, so I was right. Johan is kind of teaching us so that in the future we can actually make use of some of the stuff that was left behind. Rappy is holding herself back really hard, yeah, that is true. Marion's purity must be protected. Just wait until Marion recovers her adult version personality and you kind of will change your tune very quickly. The welcome back scene. Oh yeah, I did activate an account on NA or something just for the purpose of recording that. I need to check if I have the welcome back now on that one or not. Because I did want to record that and put it on my channel just for the sake of having it. Because it did seem like something pretty interesting. They have a welcome back scene. Because I play Nikke on the daily, it's kind of like my main gacha game, so the odds of me getting that cinematic are pretty slim. Let's put it that way. Yep, I agree with Johan's statement here. Makes absolute sense. It is adorable. Rappy. Red Hood is Rappy's mother. Honestly, I mean, it would be interesting if it was, but I genuinely doubt it. It would be one hell of it. It's basically a theory on the same crackpot level of theory of my theory that the commander is basically the legendary commander but younger, because the Ark did some experiments on him, and that's why he remembers vaguely some stuff and has the legendary commander's blood kind of thing. Like that's the super crackhead theory. There is a chance we get a Pine heretic. Like that is actually a real possibility. I don't think Johan is a clone of the original commander though, because he doesn't have Vapo's blood. Anderson and our character though, it is definitely possible. It is also possible that our character is the son of the legendary commander as well. Like those are two possibilities. Most likely the clone theory is probably the most likely one though. At least for Anderson and our character. Anderson could also be the actual legendary commander, by the way, considering how Mustang is supposed to be, to have been the head of Tetra since the first Rapture invasion, which I still am amazed at how young he looks if that's the case. Like the guy must have done a lot of science modifications on his own body.
Nikke に戦闘を任せ、指を加えて見ているためにその制服と聖望が与えられているわけではない。そうか。お前はちゃんと理解しているようだな。Johan
talks as if we're the average commander from the Ark, but he seems to forget that we're pretty freaking different, just in mindset alone, even from Johan himself. Because Johan still, to some extent, views Nikkes as almost, I wouldn't say tools, but he's still pretty far from the mentality that we have, to the point where even the Nikkes from Inherit kind of comment how weird we are by treating Nikkes as basically humans. Emergency, 9 raptures, current speed, they'll reach the base in 15 minutes and 33 seconds. So there is a barrier. Yeah, Nikkes are basically, they're very weird. Because Nihilister added an entire layer of additional lore to complement what came in Overzone as well about how Nikkes are made. So, like Nikkes are very weird, but the core thing that you have to remember is that the brains of Nikkes are human brains. Like there is actually But yeah, the what's it called? The brains of the Nikkes are female brains that they take from people that are supposed to be dead. We know that's not true, but that they don't only take it from people that died and gave their consent. We know that for a fact that it's not true. But the rest of the body is made out of materials that humans don't really understand in lore either. Even the powers that Nikkes get are not in the control of the manufacturers. It's what the person that is getting turned into a Nikke visualizes as being the strongest thing that they visualize, kind of gives a basis for what they manifest as their power. And some weird processes basically turn them into Nikkes, which is identical to how it's identical to how heretics are born as well. Of course, Isabel wouldn't means the opportunity depends on the commander. Yeah, of course she wouldn't. Like, you know how Isabel is. But anyways, I'm gonna have to cut the stream here, unfortunately, because it is getting very late and I do have some work to do tomorrow. So thanks for everyone that came to the stream, and I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow. Usually 9 p.m. GM plus 2 is when I start streaming when I do. I will try to keep you guys updated this time around through the YouTube functions. I'll try to understand them while I'm working as well on some of my projects and reading some of the stuff that I need to read tomorrow morning. And try to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, sure. What up, Zephyr? You had a question, right? Or something to say before I go? Yeah, I think he's still typing. Yeah, I'll give it a few minutes. In the Moderna need protection. Yes, she does. She's pretty precious. But I mean, if that's what you wanted to say, sure. Thanks a lot for coming to the stream anyways, and I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Hello, what? Yeah, she also needs headpads for sure. But anyways, thanks a lot. If I missed the actual comment that you wanted to make, Zephyr, don't hesitate to either post it on the community post or whatever, and I'll reply if it's an actual question to something Nikke related or whatever. But anyways, I need to go to bed, so thanks a lot for coming, and yes, Moderna is the very cute daughter at the moment. See you guys tomorrow.